Let us pray. Dear wise and loving God, we thank you for the abundant blessings that we have received from your hands, for life itself, for the measure of health and well-being we experience. We thank you for our city, for our mayor, for our council, all officials elected, all workers of our city, for the police department, for the fire department, healthcare workers among us. Thank you, Lord, for sparing us from devastation, and we ask that your wisdom may be with us. Please, Lord God, grant us wisdom and the courage to do the right thing, to say the right things, to remain true. May we speak when it's needed to be done, and may we listen when listening is required. May we always be guided by you, O God. We ask that you hear us and graciously answer us. Amen.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Councilwoman Syke. Here. Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally.
Here.
Mayor McLeod.
Here.
Have a quorum.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
I make a motion.
By Lally. Second by Valerius. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of April 13?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Now we come to, we will open the public hearing for the fiscal year 2021-2022 general fund budget.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens. I am here tonight to present to you the City of Allen Park 21-22 fiscal year budget. We are budgeting $24,139,400 of revenues. This budget tentatively uses $166,890 of fund balance, with 58% of our revenues coming from property taxes and 15% coming from state shared revenue. General fund expenditures are also $24 million, with public safety making up 44% of the budget at $10 million, and the retiree health care at $3 million, which accounts for over half of our budget. Other funds, the water and sewer fund, library, capital projects, brownfield, community center, the building department, DDA, rubbish, major and local streets and forfeiture are all balanced budgets. Water and sewer fund is also using a portion of fund balance this year. However, next year they look to be able to make that up. The 5-year capital plan includes 3 vehicles for the police department, upgrades in technology and building improvements for the fire station. Parks and Rec, it has an upgrade for their parking lots, and administration is covering historical house upgrades in addition to a CDBG grant that we were awarded in March. The community center has $6,000 in fitness workout equipment that spans the next 5 years, so we have nice updated equipment there. DPS has budget for furniture for the new building, $177,000 for a large dump truck, and $425,000 that will help finish off the DPS building. There is also $425,000 budgeted in water and sewer for the other half, and that should get us pretty well done to have a functioning building. Any finalizing touches will come as needed. There's also a large dump truck in the water and sewer budget, $190,000 for the wet weather study, and $218,000 for the sewer lining. The proposed water rate increases is $4.45 for each unit of water, and $4.88 for each unit of sewer. The ready-to-serve charge will stay the same. For the average house using about 19 units, this will increase their bill by $11.21, or 5.9%. Here we have the city debts. The Civic Arena debt is taxable. The DDA debt will be finished in 24-25, along with the emergency loan. We have a few water and sewer debts that fall off soon. We have the 2002, this will be the last fiscal year that we pay that debt, along with the 2005 also comes off in 24-25. We have 1 year for the water meter loans, and the 26-27 will be the final year for the capital improvement bonds, which is also, the other half is covered on the city side. Everything below the 2020 capital improvement bonds, those are all issued on our behalf from Wayne County. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of control over those. The 2007B is related to the EPA judgment, and the others below that are paid through our rates. Any questions?
I had a question. You mentioned sewer lining,
Yes.
and it was like 200, so it's almost double what we're awarding possibly tonight? Is it something different?
So what we're awarding tonight is multi-year?
So the bid you have before you tonight is based on as-needed basis per quantity. We used every quantity by 10 to 20 feet, not total feet, to make it fair. So that dollar amount is based on every liner at 10 to 20 feet for a bid. So the dollar amount you have is not to what we actually spend. Does that make sense?
No.
So if I have a 15-inch liner at 20 feet long, I asked, how much does that cost each company? And that's what their prices were based on. We don't have a 15-foot line. We got 350, 400-foot lines. That was to make it fair across the board. How much is it per foot? So that was what the bid was based on, not bid on what we were actually doing for this fiscal year. Because our budget changes every year, and I didn't want us to get roped into a 5-year contract that maybe 2 years from now, we don't have the 300,000 and they'll hold us to it. So we go as needed on that contract.
Okay, and
Does that make
so,
sense? It was the only fair way to do it, not telling them a quantity, because we have an unknown quantity.
so then the next budget year is, you
Starting in
anticipate,
July, that
doing-
she's talking about right now, is what we've budgeted to do approximately in sewer lining, based on the prices of the liners they gave us for each size.
okay, now that I understand.
Okay.
But I still don't understand why we have 134,
Because that was every description, what every price came to as a total
for a 15-foot.
for a quantity, a single quantity of each piece of size of liner. Instead of saying I got 400 here, 200 there, 300 there, we just said if everybody had 15 foot of a liner at 15 inch, 12 inch, 10 inch, what's your price for each one of those? And that just gives you a dollar amount at the bottom. Like buying any material at Ace Hardware. You're gonna buy one and you wanna know how much one costs, but you know you need to go buy 5, but how much is each one? That's the same comparative.
This is just a sample size then?
It's just a sample size, so they were all equal.
Right.
So there was no unfair advantage to anybody.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Does that help? We've done it this way forever. You do as
I-
needed. So when we camera every year, we may see we need 4,000 linear feet done that year that we find. That price comes to about what we're trying to budget for. But I don't want to put out a contract as a long-term contract guaranteeing that amount every year. That's why we did it this way.
So how did you come up with the 200,000?
Because we've been doing about 200 to 240 every year with a SAW grant we got about 6 years ago, maybe now. We had 3/4 of the city cameraed, and they have something called PACP, which is telling you what the line looks like. 5 being the worst condition, 1 being a very good condition. And you base it off each year on your capital of what needs to get accomplished. And then we camera on top of it when somebody may call and say we have a sinkhole in our backyard or something. And we may find a line that wasn't cambered previously because we didn't do the other 25%. So we add them accordingly, and I only do the amount that I'm budgeted to for that year.
Okay,
We also have a budget that's called sewer maintenance in the sewer part. That is for supplemental emergencies. So if you find a liner after your budget's done, you have some money to take care of that liner so it doesn't collapse. Does that help understand why it's as needed?
yes.
Okay.
Me too.
Does anyone else have any questions? Do any of the residents have any questions regarding the budget during this time? Yep. What's the process?
Did you say might as well, Joe?
Do any residents have any comments regarding the budget? That's twice? I have to ask 3 times. Does any resident have any comments they wish to make at this time about our budget? If not, then I will close the public hearing. Thank you very much, Amanda.
Thank you.
Now we move on to organizational business.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, residents of Allen Park. It's wonderful again to see everybody back in person. And we actually have an audience tonight too.
Yeah.
So excited. Allen Road is still closed at Ecorse Creek, but they seem to be making some progress. As soon as we receive any more updates from Wayne County, we'll get those out to the public. I did notice that all the culverts were in place. They were pouring some concrete, and I know they're hopefully making some progress quicker than so we can get that back open. We have had a lot of communications, at least the mayor's had a lot of communications with Tom Strobel, who is the owner of Thunderbolt Lanes, and he has a couple big tournaments coming up, and would really like to have that open in time for those events, as they will be nationally televised events as well. So, the Belmont Avenue water main replacement from Fox to Champaign is starting to wrap up as well. The contractor has finished all the water main work, and the residential leads have been all installed. GV Cement is the contractor for the concrete and the restoration, and they'll be back on site here shortly to get that all wrapped up. And they should be about 3 to 4 weeks to get everything finalized and buttoned up and get that back to normal. And I know those residents will be happy about that. For the program year 2020 CDBG Kennedy Park project, Wayne County Procurement is moving forward with their recommendation of Sinclair Recreation. As you might recall last week or 2 weeks ago, Sinclair Recreation was the only bidder, and that is a company that we're very familiar with. They've done Briar Rabbit. They've also done the work at Humpty Dumpty. And so we'll be very familiar with their work. Their bid was $170,000, and then the safety tiles were an additional $63,000 for a total of $233,000, actually $63,500 for a total of $233,500. The grant we received from Wayne County was for $183,000. They're going to let us use our program year 2020 allocation of $20,000 to get us $203,000. I now have, actually I mentioned here, I got a little over $29,000 on hand, And I actually have a little bit more than that. I have about $39,000 on hand. So we will actually not have to dip into any city funds to cover any of the project. I thought we had to get about $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000, but it looks like we'll have enough money to cover it all, and that'll be a existing park, adding in a couple play structure, adding in an additional 1,000 square feet of play area, and then making the whole thing with the safety tiles like we have done at Briar Rabbit and at Humpty Dumpty. And it's really, I think it makes a really nice looking park, and I do thank Wayne County and their the people that were involved in the procurement process. They made it a worthwhile, easy process. I'm hoping to get the same group of people for the historical house. That's my request has already been placed on that, and it looks like that probably will be for the same person. I'm just hoping we'll have the same evaluators as well, because they did a really nice job. We were able to swear in, through the efforts of Clerk Mizzi yesterday, our two newest firefighters, Courtney Gutierrez and Michael Franz. Both of those firefighters come to the city of Allen Park from the city of Woodhaven, so we thank Chief Clark down at Woodhaven for his contribution to us. Chief Clark is a great guy. We actually got a son too, so it was like he gives up everybody down there. So it's unfortunate that those departments, they are training ground, and but we're happy to have those officers with us today, and I think they're going to do a fine job for us. And Courtney was our first female firefighter ever, so nice to finally see us break that ceiling and moving forth on that. The library has a tentative reopening date of May 10th. Director Blakeney, Deputy Director Swinehart, and HR Director Tanya Whited they've been working together to make sure that we can get a plan together that takes into concern for the safety of our employees and also takes into concern for the safety of the residents as they utilize the facility. They're still going to be able to use the curbside pickup. We found that has been very well accepted. I think that's actually going to be something you're going to see stay from now on. And so we're really happy that they'll be opening up, looking tentative date May 10th. And as it gets closer, I'll get some more information out on that stuff there too. I got a note here. I don't forget the most important one. I'm going to be on vacation the 17th through the 21st. My wife made sure I told you all that. So.
Of May.
Yeah. You know how that goes. Well, you're going to know how that goes. And then just a real quick, we're working with Tom Murray's staff, Cheryl McDonnell, on the Adopt a Flower Bed program. And I got to put a big shout out to Cheryl. She's phenomenal. She does a great job handling this for us, and especially with the transition over, she's done a great job as well. And so we're working on the plan there, working with Pat Hawkins for the recreation crew to be able to help us do some planting, getting some prep work, and then we're also going to be out seeking some volunteers if anybody wants to come help as we get closer to that date. It's looking like our planning date's going to probably be on a Monday. Unfortunately, the flowers come in on a Friday the 21st, but the Memorial Day event is on the 22nd. So we'll look to do a planning on the 24th, and we'll see if we can find some volunteers for that. But looks like we're going to have a second planning date the first week of June coming up there as well. So once we get that, I'll have that information out as well. But I do want to put a big shout out to Cheryl for great work in getting everything organized, getting letters out, and she's done a great job, and I do appreciate her help. I should thank Tom and Pat as well. Tom for letting her do it, and Pat for, I had to twist his arm a little bit to get some volunteers, but he was willing to help there as well. And that's just another testament of the teamwork that we do have here at the City of Allen Park, where when we have a program like this where we're kind of getting it handed to us a little bit later than we probably would have preferred, but we're going to make do, and but everybody steps up to the plate and works together, and I really do appreciate that.
I do have one question. This is the newest firefighters, Courtney and Michael. Now, is that new ones, or is that to replace somebody else that was going to go?
Yeah, great question, Councilman. They're actually replacing officers that are leaving. We have leaving here at the end of April. Actually, today, I think was Stacy's last day today?
Yes.
Okay. And I think Love's is yesterday or? Tomorrow. So we have two, we have Lieutenant Stasek, his last day was today, and then Captain Love is tomorrow, and these two officers will replace those two senior officers. We still have two more openings. Sorry about that.
That was my question.
Go ahead and ask the question. We still have two more openings, because we do have Captain Hughes is retiring, and unfortunately, unless you guys want to stop it, Chief LaFon's going to retire as well, but.
I heard Disney World's not that great.
I heard it's not that great either. Florida's overrated, it's a little warm down there, and.
I got another question. How are we doing with the police department? Are we hiring any more police officers, or what's the deal?
Yeah, so Chief Egan is working hard on that as well. He's got a couple of candidates already lined up out of the academy, but they have to graduate first. And
Okay.
I believe, Chief, do they graduate at the end of this month? At the end of May?
26 they graduate, so we'll be hiring them like the 31st, and then we'll be back at it until the other.
Okay.
So to fill in there,
We're short 5.
No, we're hiring two from, hiring two from,
2 that are left on our hiring list. So
Right.
we'll start a brand new list.
gotcha.
so let me repeat that for the people at home. So we have the two candidates that are on our list that are ready to be hired will graduate from the academy at about the May 26th this year timeframe, and we'll start probably the end of the month. And then we'll start the cycle again for a new hiring list. When I did talk to the chief before, he was going to try to see if maybe an expansion of his the footprint of area, head maybe out to Washington County and some maybe, I believe, Macomb County, just trying to look a little bit broader area to see if we can attract people down here.
And we want to make sure that we keep the fire and police updated the way we keeps the city strong. And I
Absolutely.
appreciate all the work they do. Thank you.
I do as well. I think that they do a fantastic job, and I think we have some of the finest police officers and firefighters around.
Anybody else have any more questions? I think, just for clarification on the flower beds, you mentioned Cheryl, and she's been handling that for a while, but a lot of that was also being handled by the court, and they're no longer doing that, so people understand that she's taken on
Yeah.
some additional responsibility. And,
Correct. So
and everybody's kind of working together to get the watering out and everything else.
Yeah, the court, unfortunately, they don't have the clients.
Manpower.
They don't have the clients they used to have, and the free labor.
Weekend warriors, they
So
call
the
them.
weekend warriors are not available as they once were. So the court was not able to work the program, so I sent it back over, so that, we could keep it running. Worked with Tom Murray and worked with Pat Hawkins. We've got a water tank coming from recreation that Pat had. We've got some parts from Tom's department to make that operational. And actually, we're going to be working with the DDA as well, because they need to do some watering of their planting areas along along Ecorse Road, and along the alleyway that they just had planted. So they want to make that investment, last. Councilman Lloyd, you were worried about, not worried, I know you mentioned the concern that with GFL starting Monday, I'll go back and talk about that real fast, that Bob Graham was going to be out of work, and it'll be a short time that he'll be out of work, because he's actually going to be the person watering the flowers for us and for DDA. So he'll be unemployed for a short period of time. We'll get him back into employment again. And he does a fantastic job and very diligent in what he does. We've heard a lot of compliments coming in. I actually heard a lot of compliments about him from GFL, their route manager, as they're starting to get some phone calls, and there's a lot of people have been complimentary of Bob in his handling and his go-between for the residents back to Advanced Disposal and back to GFL. We are running into a little bit of problems here. We're in the last week with GFL, or with Advanced Disposal. Tom was able to work with Mary Jo Van Etter, who's, I think you've all met, at least on Zoom, and regarding some damage to the carts that's been occurring. We've noticed a lot in the last month, and I think we have some disgruntled Advanced Disposal employees, unfortunately. So GFL has stepped up to the plate. They are making those repairs for us and getting new carts to people as they come along. It's a little bit slower process, but they're not the contractor yet, but they're still trying to do what they can for us. And that contract, again, does start May 3rd, so next Monday. We just got 3 more days, 3 more days with Advanced Disposal. And Advanced Disposal has done a really good job on certain aspects. Bulk pickup was their main problem, and I think that's going to be completely addressed with GFL and the new contract.
I saw a GFL truck going down the street today on Champaign. Are they doing stuff in the city right now?
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park. Oh, on the way.
They do Lincoln Park.
Got you. Makes sense.
Yeah, I believe they've delivered all the dumpsters for us. So we have community center. We've got the parks. We've got the DPS facility. The fire station has one now. We actually sent one over to Peluche Home, so they won't have to be paying for their garbage disposal anymore. And that's with the new GFL contract. We could include them. And again, next Monday we'll start the weekly recycling.
Excellent.
As well. So.
Is all the trucks gonna be the same color, or not?
They are that beautiful green.
Green, yes.
And they have some red ones.
I like green.
Yeah, I
older
believe
ones.
they may still have some old.
It's green and white, by the way.
I didn't see the white on those trucks. I saw maybe black or something like that. They do have a few red trucks still out there. They are the former Rizzo corporation that was purchased by GFL. But there's no other associations with Rizzo anymore.
I talked to a lot of people that really gonna look forward to that. I said, really, we're gonna pick up all the green stuff, the recycle, and the stuff that you don't want. Yeah, they're gonna do all that stuff, all the above.
Yep, weekly recycling.
You don't have 1 week and 1 week off.
Yep, weekly recycling. They do have a weekly rewards program as well. So as you recycle, you can get points and win prizes and different things like that. And then for the bulk pickup, as the route manager described, they'll have a front load truck. The guy will just drive down the street. As he sees it, he'll throw it in the truck, and he's on his way.
Don't need to call.
Don't need to call.
We worked with GFL in West Bloomfield. They did an excellent job, so.
Everybody we've talked to has said the same thing. We have Deb Zettel here, Jackie Baxter, our payroll, Chief LaFond, Sandy Blakeney, all have GFL, all raved about them. So we're really, really happy.
Yeah, I think,
And Mary Jo Van Etter has been very,
Right.
very, very responsive for us.
yeah. And as I indicated earlier, when we get more into summer and people are off of work or can get away, you must visit the recycle center.
Absolutely.
Because that is a wonder to behold, a wonder to behold. Are there any other questions of the city administrator?
Mark, any updates on the insurance or situation with the sign on Southfield by Pinecrest?
Yeah, I got a price for the replacement of the sign itself, and Jennifer Kiwi, the DDA director, is working on a quote from her landscaper to rebuild the whole area. So I'm just waiting for that, and once I have that, I'll be able to send it off to the insurance company and get our some reimbursement back so we can start the process to get it replaced.
Thank you.
So a few weeks out. It's taking a little bit longer trying to get the drawing from the landscape architect.
Yeah, okay, I was just, because with the flower beds and stuff, and with our new commission, maybe a new project for them and stuff, but.
We have a list.
Well, the flower bed went up a little bit on the price.
Yeah, we had to go up. It went from 100. There's some small flower beds that they were $100, and there was most of the flower beds. There were about 10 of those, and most of the flower beds were $200. They went from 100 to 175, and from 200 to 275. Yeah. And the reason being, just to be able to cover the cost of the watering. That was a cost we didn't have to incorporate last time, which we do now.
Cheryl guaranteed that this year is going to be much better than previous years. As far as the flower bed, I had a little problem with mine up on Park Avenue. So they're going to take care of business. That's what I hear.
She is very diligent in making sure. I asked her today, if she has a design, and she has some ideas in mind. So I'm yielding to her.
Okay.
If there's no further questions, may I have a motion to accept and file the administrator's report?
Motion.
Motion by
Pam
Syke.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd.
I got in one.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We'll have to have Tony wear his mask. And now we come to organizational business under me. And I am very excited tonight. I have given to my council members recommendations for appointments to 2 commissions, and one is reestablishing the Beautification Commission, which was done away with by the emergency manager. And I was telling someone before the meeting started that this is one of many items on a list of things to do that I started when I first served on council. And even though I've taken a few off, I keep adding more than I'm taking off. But this one in particular, I'm very pleased to present to you tonight. And so I am appointing tonight for the Beautification Commission. And I believe everyone's here, so if you would stand up when I announce your name and come up to the front where Mr. Mizzy will swear you in. But I would like everyone here and all of our residents to recognize our newest volunteers. Kathy Collier, Don Graham, Dan Smith, Kyle Valagora, and Maureen Stauder. This is our new Beautification Commission. And if anyone's looked at the memo, because we had to draw names, and I had our finance director do that for me. So we will have varying terms of expiration. All terms expire at the end of the year, so one of you will have a term expiring on December 31st, 2021, but at that time you'll be eligible to be reappointed for a full 5-year term. And I will add to this our appointment to the Downtown Development Authority, Mr. Jeff Holden, who is stepping in to assume the position that Laura Kozlowski, who was a longtime volunteer on that board, had to resign because she has decided that it's time for her to retire and sell her business. So we will miss Laura, but we are very happy to have Jeff, who's already been very active with the DDA, serving on one of their committees. So thank you and welcome. And Mike, if you will.
Okay, I'm not going to make you guys repeat after me or anything like that. Just at the end, say I swear, I do, I affirm, whatever you're most comfortable with. And then I'm going to hand you your oaths of office. I've already signed them. You just need to sign them and then yours to keep. That's your souvenir for this evening. So I ask everybody today to raise your right hand. And do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of Beautification Commissioner and Downtown Development Director Authority to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. All right, congratulations.
Mayor, do we need a motion and support? Oh, okay, I motion.
We have to wait for Mike.
Yeah.
I think I probably got the cart before the horse here, but I know that I'm not going to have any issues with this, and I'll wait till Mr. Mizzy gets back. But I need a motion to approve these appointments, and Mr. Blevins says motion.
A second.
And seconded by Mr. Lally. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. And thank you all. And now we come to the public comments of our agenda, and anyone in the audience is free to come up and make comment. You are restricted to 4 minutes, and all we ask is that you provide your name and the street on which you live. Please do not give your full address. And the only other thing we ask is that you be civil and don't make any derogatory comments to any of us up here, so, or anyone in the audience.
General.
Or anyone, how's that? No derogatory comments are accepted.
want myself to
Yeah.
address? Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Matt Martin. I live on Cortland Avenue. I am the current president of the Allen Park Bulldogs, and I just wanted to speak on behalf of the resolution to pave that parking lot. It's long overdue. I've been a part of the club for 7 years, and from firsthand knowledge, I can say that it's way overdue. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm not used to public speaking. Every fall, from August through November, kids from the community practice at this park 4 to 6 times a week. We have about 200 kids in our program each year, so we get a lot of traffic in and out of the park, you know, and it's dirt and rock. So a lot of dips develop, trenches, and when it rains, it just becomes a muddy, slippery mess. Paving the parking lot would greatly benefit the youth and families in this community. The lot has been smoothed out in the past. I don't know the terms that graded. But within a couple weeks after a rain or two, it's just right back to the prior conditions. We're not the only youth community or the youth organization that uses this park. APAC uses a baseball field. I know the Boy Scouts utilize the a portion of the park back there as well. So it wouldn't just benefit one organization. It would benefit a lot of families within the community. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of the Bulldogs to urge the council to pass this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeff Holden, Culvers, Southfield Road. I just wanted to bring to the council's attention, the mayor's attention, of a fundraiser that we're going to be doing next Thursday. It's called Scoops of Thanks. And it's a really cool fundraiser because, number one, it gives all our guests a great deal. On Thursday of next week, if they come on in and they ask for a scoop of frozen custard, it's only $1. What's better than that? No, I have the answer, really. The answer is donating that $1. And that's what we're going to do. And this year, your local Culvers of Allen Park have decided to take that $1 and give it to the Allen Park Citizen Civic Fund. So that's next Thursday all day. You don't have to say anything special. For everybody that's doing that, we'll take that $1 and we're going to donate it back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, I will put on my other hat and give you a thank you as secretary of that board. Also, very much appreciated.
Have to ask what flavors.
Vanilla, chocolate, and gooey mooey. A special flavor that they only feel that day.
Oh, boy.
Do we have any other individuals in the audience who would like to come up and speak during this time? If not, I will close the public comment portion and we will move on to the consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, we have claims and accounts and the payroll report. May I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second, Lloyd.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Resolutions. Come to Resolution 1, which is to consider waiving the city bid process because there is no economic benefit to bid the asphalt repaving of the Cunningham Park Drive and parking lot and authorize the city to accept the proposal from Al's Asphalt Paving, who is the current contractor, for $97,497.
I make a motion.
Motion by Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Schlack. Questions and comments?
Just a couple, Mayor. So that number that's from Asphalt, that's significantly under what we expected, correct?
Yeah, when we had put this in the budget last year, it was at 150,000 is what we anticipated the cost to be.
And this might be, I don't know if this is for Director Hawkins or Director Murray, but right now we're grading it twice a year or
Three
times a year. And so just roughly, I mean, I know I don't expect you to have costs, but that's.
Something we're working on, Pat, myself, and I'd say Mark too, is getting rid of almost all the gravel we can in
Yeah.
the future. We have to have it sprayed twice a year also for dust control. There's a cost to that. You have to have it graded. His parking lots as well as Ellie's, as you've heard, we're working on those two. You have to grade them constantly. Today's traffic, today's bigger vehicles, everything, these gravel roads and parking lots are not made for what is driving in them anymore. And the amount is, we're saying, I'd say 200 cars for the Bulldogs probably show up there consistently. And it's not, maintenance is just too expensive to keep it up.
So,
Second year you're doing it, right?
Doing what?
The grading.
Yeah, Pat used to pay a company to do it.
company $1,500 to do that part.
Yeah, and that's one time.
Right.
And that wasn't dust control, that was just a grading. We have to bring in, stone, sometimes 21 AA, which there's a cost to that also, to dump it for the pots, you know. And then you gotta grade it, it's usually an employee for most of his parking lots, not just the one. Usually it's about 2 to 3 days worth of just 8 hours a day of grading just parking lots for Parks and Rec.
so in 2 or 3 seasons, this is going to ultimately be a cost savings.
That possibly will last 15 to 20 years if decently taken care of. That would pay for itself, I would say 5 years, 5 to 6 years probably. To be realistic, it'll take 5 to 6 probably of the cost of everything that we do in a given year.
Do we own a grader?
Yes, I have 2.
Oh,
Not technical graders, they're underbody grader blades for the plow blades.
Right.
Plow
We
blades,
don't own an
okay.
actual grader, because we don't have enough
I was gonna,
here like a rural area would to pay for a $210,000 grader to go down the street and take up the wide load. Yeah, it's not
okay.
worth us.
I'm gonna jump on, Councilman, Tom just mentioned about maintenance as well. And, you know, as you know, we've been doing parking lot maintenance on a regular basis. So that is something that is now into that routine for preventative care.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Mayor,
Yes, I got a question. When you do the parking lot, are you gonna do the entranceway too, or just the parking lot? The entranceway too? And another question, on Champaign, when are we gonna be grading that pavement, or like on Allen Road, that Champaign Park, where they have all the baseball and everything? Do we do anything there?
The one on
I'm
What
Pelham?
are they giggling?
They already did? That's not a laughing matter.
I think there would,
You're
there is,
laughing.
as Tom was just mentioning, I know Pat's gonna mention as well, trying to get to those parking lots to get them paved. And, we have, Champaign, we have Millward, we have, Community. And, we do have money, subject to your approval of the budget for the 2021-22 budget. There is some money in there, as well, but, that is one of the goals I know, Director Hawkins has.
Okay.
That specific parking lot has been discussed for a number of years. It's not in the plan right now because of the size and the cost, but one of those reasons has to do with the grading, what some older members of the staff recall for drainage, and there's no sewer line there, would all have to run into
Pelham.
into Pelham, okay?
I understand.
And so there's a lot of things to consider, and yet some seem to think that there's some underground, some buried or covered over drainage, and
That's not.
so until some of those answers are there, it doesn't make sense to just throw a number into it,
I understand.
okay? So that's where,
But once in a while, you guys do put some, grade whatever, because
And we
it
bring
makes
Tom
holes.
back up and we
It makes
grade it.
holes, and you gotta grade them a little bit, that way you don't have your car going up and down on a parking lot.
right, and then we gotta stone
Okay.
it too.
And you're gonna spray them too, right? Okay, now, one more question, hold on, relax. You know the Memorial Park on Champaign and Allen Road? That where we usually do our Memorial Day parade, and we go there and celebrate. I know that place there gets filled with water quite a bit. Is there some way we could put a drainage there and put some dirt there or some gravel underneath and dirt on top and drain it to the Champaign drain somewhere, and maybe that eliminate that mud and stuff and the grass?
We would hope so, and that's where some of the previous employees that have been here, Mr. Boomer seems to remember some of those things, that he seems to believe that there was a drainage, there was drainage there that they've been covered up. And I think Bruce Hammond has talked about it in the past, and it's on the docket, but trying to find it is a different story. Okay?
Well, I'm just wondering, because we sure like to have, we have a beautiful place for the memorial, we sure like to use that too.
Yeah, for
I know
about
we're
4 or
gonna have
5
one,
weeks,
but
it's not
the old
usable.
Veterans Hospital this year, but
Yes.
maybe sometime in the future, we'd like to get that fixed up a little bit, that's all. That way nobody gets their feet wet.
Right, we wade through it and we can't cut it because there's
Right.
too much water there, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nope.
I thought, you,
Are there any other questions on Resolution 1? Well, I would have to concur with the statement that was made, because a long time ago, I played softball at that park, and driving to get to the field was
Right.
not good on your vehicle, so. Well, we had a motion by Mr. Lally, seconded by Mr. Schlack. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Resolution has passed. Resolution 2, to amend the budget for the paving of Cunningham Park Drive and parking lots as follows: for operating supplies, park supplies, professional services, and capital outlay. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Support. Give it to Pam.
Ms. Syke,
that's 2.
supported by Councilman Blevins, Syke and Blevins. Any comments or questions?
I'm not gonna ask you to get up again, but just to clarify for people looking at home, the reason that we're moving this around is because we didn't have the expenditures last year because we were, because of COVID, because of closing down, we didn't have a baseball season, didn't put out porta potties, a number of things. So these are excess funds because we were expected to spending more funds that because of COVID didn't end up getting spent. So I just want to make sure that that's clear for the people at home, that we are, that is why we're moving around these funds and have them available.
Is that correct?
Okay.
Make sure.
Good job, Pam.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? So we can complete what we said we do in Resolution 1. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Resolution 3, to award the bid for the sanitary and storm sewer line and manhole rehabilitation to the lowest qualified bidders, Granite Inliner LLC, in the amount of $134,434. May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. Now, we are supposed to go into closed session, but as I usually do, I will ask the council to make their comments before we do, because people probably are not prone to sit around here until we come out from a closed session. So this evening, we will start with Councilwoman Syke.
Thank you. I was looking over things today as I was so excited to see the first female firefighter in Allen Park. Having worked all my life in a male-dominated field, it's good to see that we are finally getting our first female firefighter, and congratulations to her, to Courtney. And then to the young man, I noticed that we had a young man that's going to go on our beautification, and it's good to see that we have some youth coming into these commissions and committees. What better way to start learning how government works, and also it looks good on a resume. The other thing I would like to say is that we just passed Earth Day, as April 22nd, and it's Earth Day every day. So I would like all of you to think about doing things such as washing your car on the grass so that it has time to soak into the soil. Make sure you pick up your animal's waste and use the other side of a piece of paper. And there's just all kinds of ways that you can think about it and find a way to take and save our planet for our next generation. And with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Pam. Matthew?
I'll be short and sweet. Just wanted to welcome our 2 new firefighters as well, Courtney and Michael. And I wanted to thank all of the new commission members. We appreciate your willingness to serve Allen Park and the citizens in your voluntary roles. You know, your commitment and willingness to do so, you know, speaks volumes with regards to your service to the community. And we thank you for that. Just think 2 weeks ago I was celebrating because we were looking outside and it was virtual snowstorm, and now it's 80 degrees. So, welcome to Michigan. But just wanted to thank everyone for their time. It's nice to see people in the audience, and it's nice once again to be in council chambers with everyone face to face instead of through Zoom. So, and with that, I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Gary?
Well, I want to start by saying I'm excited for the GFL contract like most of our community. I never thought I would be so excited for a trash contract in my life, but it's called being an adult, I guess. I hate to be repetitive, but say thank you to our newest commissioners. As I said last meeting, and I've said before, that it's a great rewarding experience, and you definitely are what make Allen Park great. I also want to thank our newest firefighters. I know they're going to be the bravest out there to do a fantastic job. I want to thank Mr. Kibbe and the administration to preparing the budget so elegantly. And finally, I want to wish every mother, especially my wife, for Mother's Day. That's going to be coming up before we meet again. So a very happy Mother's Day. I hope you can get out and treat your mothers right. And with that, I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Charles?
First off, thank you to all the volunteers for new commission, and it does really make a difference when you step up, whether it's on a commission or being on city council and stuff, and every help makes a difference. And to the residents that came up to speak as well, please, I encourage all residents to come up here and speak to us so that we can hear your concerns or saying good things of the city and staying positive. And I can't wait to get some ice cream. Also, to all the residents, that the farmers market has started up again, and so every Friday until I believe October or end of October, please go to Park Avenue and support the farmers market. Also, I know like today I did some spring cleaning of the cabinets for medication and stuff, so please look into that and make sure, or if you know someone, like your neighbors and stuff, to help them out with if there's any expiring medication. We do at the police station have a bin for those. Also, next week, make sure you go out and vote. I'm not here to tell you how to. That's not my job. My job here is just to inform you that, hey, there's an election next week. No matter, and your voice does matter, especially local level, because local level, every vote matters. Please keep supporting local businesses. Great job again to the fire department, police department, and all the volunteers helping out, getting everyone vaccine shots and stuff. I just got my second one on last Friday. Hope everyone again has a. Please make sure you think about whether they're up in heaven or here, your mothers. I hope everyone has a wonderful Mother's Day, and hope anyone that is celebrating happy Cinco de Mayo. Also, if there's any updates on the back in the day, they were talking about the railroad by Benny getting fixed up. If there's like a date or any type of like time frame when that's gonna get fixed. And then lastly, I can't wait for our work session meeting next week, and I yield.
Thank you, Charles. Tony?
Good evening. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Appreciate you guys coming in. I tell you what, I want a long overdue beautification committee. I think you guys are going to do a great job in Allen Park, and we'll be proud of you for doing it. I know you guys will do a good job because all you care is about the Allen Park and the way it looks. And I'm sure it'll look much better. I want to welcome aboard on the DDA, Jeff Culver, on the Jeff. Hold on, I'm sorry. I know you. I see him on Tuesday morning, but I didn't see him today. Anyway, welcome aboard. I know you'll do a good job for the city of Allen Park. I appreciate it. I want to welcome aboard the firefighters, Courtney and Michael. I know they'd be really happy in Allen Park, and as Pam said, it's nice to see a young lady up in the firefighters. We watch all them shows on TV, and now we got one here in Allen Park. I think that's great. And I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And make sure you vote on May the 4th. But I do have one thing left to say, is we are having the Knights of Columbus, on behalf of the Knights of Columbus of the city of Allen Park, we are having a concert night in the park, tribute to the heroes, past, present, and future. So that night will be with Father Sale Knights of Columbus and the city of Allen Park, to pay tribute to all the heroes, past, present, and future, with the evening of great music and fellowship. It starts at 5:30. Ceremony starts at 6. 6 it starts at 6:30 is the ceremony. There'll be a little bit of a surprise. There'll be two twins singing the national anthem, and it'd be a fireworks behind. It'd be pretty cool. Just a little bit, not much. But that's going to be, and all this is dedicated to all the heroes, 911 and beyond. The veterans, the chief of police is going to be there. Hopefully, we're going to invite chief of police, the chief Douglas LaFond. If not, then the other chief will come on board, which is that Ken. The veterans, the commander of the veterans, the commander of the American Legion. We're going to have an honor guard. We're going to have the ceremony of putting the flag up and putting the flag down. And it's going to be a beautiful night. It's a $20 donation. And bring your own stuff, bring your own chair. It'll be outside. And we are renting the showmobile that's really working for us with Bob and everything. They're doing a heck of a job. It's all taken care of for almost all year. So anytime that you guys want to do something in the park, we welcome for you to come and see the Knights of Columbus. Paul Carnarvon, he will take care of you. Other than that, I want to say thank you, good night, and God bless you.
Tony, what night is that? I don't think you gave
It's
me
going to
date.
be on Saturday night.
Saturday, September 11th.
September the 11th, 9/11, of course. I'm sorry, 9/11.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Dan?
Okay, first I have to apologize to my fellow council members. I know that I can be a little bit ear-piercing at times. Imagine,
My hearing aid is done now. It's
when I
okay.
was teaching remote, I had parents complaining that I was screaming at 8 o'clock in the morning, all positive things. Okay, so first I'd like to echo the congratulations to our two new firefighters. It's very exciting. Hopefully both fire department and police department can get fully staffed. They do an amazing job, so I'm very excited to welcome Courtney Gutierrez and Michael Franz onto the onto the department. Again, also like to echo the congratulations to our 2 new commissioners. I think that that's one of the things that makes Allen Park great is we have so many citizens that are willing to contribute their time to make this a wonderful place to live. I am very pleased that Mr. Graham is staying busy. He's going from one spot to the other, so I imagine he doesn't have very much free time. And I would also like to echo Councilwoman Sykes. Congratulations to Kyle, which I now second or third commission. Second commission. So yeah, taking a very active role in the city at a very young age. I actually was a chaperone on Kyle's 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., which makes me feel incredibly old. All right, and so I have no doubt that if he wants it, he'll be sitting up here one day. So thank you to all of you, Kyle especially. Again, and I've been talking about this a great deal. It is very important. There is only one issue on the May 4th ballot, and that is the bond renewal for the Allen Park schools. I think that this is something that it affects every member of our community. And I honestly, I feel like this is something that is only going to be going into the Allen Park School District, okay? However, this affects the wider community because these are the individuals that they are getting an education here and they're coming back and they're serving our community. Like Kyle, like many of the people that are sitting up here, they are coming back and choosing to live in Allen Park. They're making their homes there. And having a highly educated citizenry is a cornerstone of a democratic society. It's what makes democracy work. So I think that is something that's essential. And so I just really urge everybody, May the 4th be with you, okay? Star Wars Day, May the 4th, okay? So make sure you get out, get to the polls, vote, practice your civic duty. That's incredibly important. One final thing, and this is really important that I mention this, one of our Allen Park residents, Rosina Lloyd, is celebrating her birthday today. When she turned 70, she started counting down. Okay, so she is 44 years old today, so you guys can do the math if you so choose. In a mere 6 years, we will be the same age. So she moved to Allen Park in 1954. She taught in Allen Park schools from 1964 all the way until 2001. And that entire time was incredibly giving of her time, energy, and talents to the city. There's a whole generation of Allen Parkers that owe a great deal to her. I myself, obviously, owe a great debt to her. So I think that she is a truly great example of an Allen Park citizen, and so on this day, I'd like to wish happy birthday to my grandmother, to Rosina. All right, so, yeah, thank you. I will make sure I'll pass that on.
Rose, I said happy birthday.
I will do that. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Mizzy. Oh, I'm sorry, I did it again.
No, you're good.
No, I'm good. I'm on the wrong column. I'm good tonight, all right. Mr. Mizzy.
You're in good shape.
One more round.
No.
It's a good birthday. Today was my mom's birthday, so.
Oh, wow.
I just want to reiterate, May 4th, Allen Park Public School proposal election. Again, these small ones, to me, are the most important ones. Please get out to vote. There is still time to come into the office and get an absentee ballot. We're going to be setting up booths. We'll be cleaning them so you can come here, vote, and leave. So we got to get the vote count up again. It will be consolidated, excuse me, at the Allen Park Community Center here at the Frank J. Latta Ice Arena. So May 4th, or come in. We are open Saturday from, I believe, 10 to 2, and then Sunday, noon to 2, and then Monday, regular hours. So we're giving you a lot of opportunities in a week. There's really no excuse. So please come out May 4th. And with that, so sorry, this chokes me up here. Thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Thank you, Mike. I'll have to make my printing bigger so I don't lose track. Well, I didn't realize quite how special today was. I was going to throw something in there. I'm going to change my comments around just a little bit because today, on April 27th, I had 8-pound, 10-ounce bouncing baby boy. And oddly enough, my sister's first granddaughter was born today, 9 years ago. So it's special to me. On the 27th, I became the mother of 3. As I was going through something I printed out, I noticed that there's a number of holidays and celebrations we're approaching that are going to occur before our next council meeting. And this Friday, April 30th, is the Orthodox Church's Good Friday. And Sunday, May 2nd, is the day they celebrate Easter. I happened to work with a woman who was Russian Orthodox, and so I learned that early on is that we don't all keep the same calendar. Of course, we have Cinco de Mayo on May 5th, which, oddly enough, is followed on Thursday, May 6th by National Nurses Day. So let's hope no one needs a nurse following Cinco de Mayo. And then we get to other things, and of course, again, I'm so pleased to have everyone volunteering for the commissions. I'm very pleased with our new firefighters, and I'm glad to see in the notes that they will come before us at council so we can all meet them personally. But now we get to Mother's Day, which is Sunday, May 9th. And anyone who's ever seen any of my postings on Facebook know that I feel it's important to recognize all of the women who have nurtured, parented, and mothered children. Not all of them are or were birth parents, but all of them took on that role, sometimes under trying circumstances, and ensured that these children grew into responsible adults. As I look back, I worked with a number of them who assumed that role. I have known them and what they have done, and to them and to all mothers, bless you and thank you. And with that, I will ask for a motion to convene into closed session for the purpose of pending litigation related to the Allen Park Retirees Association, Inc. and Janice Pillar, personal representative for the estate of Russell Pillar. Motion by Mr. Lally.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Roll call, please.
All right, Mayor. We have a motion by Pro Tem Lally, supported by Councilman Lloyd, to convene in a closed session for the purpose of pending litigation, AP Retirees Association, Inc., and Janice Pillar, personal representative for the estate of Russell Pillar, as permitted under MCL 15268E. Shall we convene? Councilman Blevin?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlask?
Yes.
Councilman Syke?
Yes.
And Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Okay. It's 7:08. Shall we take a little break and reconvene in closed session at 7:15?